Let's talk Tanya for the 23rd of Shevat. We are on the topic of negative emotions and how to rid ourselves of negative emotions, not to be weighed down by negative emotions. Yesterday we spoke about guilt. Today we're going to be talking about shame. Guilt and shame, they might sound the same, but they're very different. Guilt is about what I did. Shame is about who I am. Shame is a sense of inadequacy. I am not a good person. I have temptations. I'm a lowly person. I'm a spiritually insensitive person. I have anger management issues. I'm a petty person, a jealous person. I'm not a friendly person. All of these things make me feel low, not because of what I do, but because of who I am. As opposed to what we spoke about yesterday, guilt, and we said guilt is legitimate, although again, we have to know how to do it properly as we discussed yesterday. Shame is never legitimate. It is never legitimate to feel inadequate or ashamed of who you are. Sometimes we have a combination of guilt and shame, meaning I did something wrong, I feel bad about what I did, and I feel also ashamed about who I am. And over here we need to do a surgery. We need to separate the two because the guilt is legitimate and we have to deal with it as we discussed yesterday. The shame is illegitimate and we have to explain to ourselves and understand why it is illegitimate. Why isn't shame illegitimate? The first thing you need to understand is you didn't create yourself. God created you, and God doesn't create junk. Everything that God does is by design and purpose, and exactly who you are is who God intended you to be. And your job is to have those character flaws and to struggle with them and to suppress the animal soul and all the negativity that comes along with it. In fact, the shame that you're feeling is a product of arrogance. You're having delusions. You have unrealistic expectations. The only one who doesn't feel low at all or isn't lowly at all is the tzaddik, is the perfect person. The person who successfully is able to transform themselves into a holy, sensitive, sacred, loving person, etc. Most of us can't get there. Because for most of us, that's not our mission, our purpose here in this world. For most of us, our mission and purpose is to struggle against and to fight all those negative elements of who we are. And when we do so, number one, we are doing a mitzvah. Number two, we're having a cosmic influence. The Alter Rebbe says that every single one of us, we have holiness inside of us, the godly soul. We have unholiness inside us, the animal soul. When we manage to suppress the animal soul, that causes a corresponding cosmic effect. That the holiness, the godliness in all the worlds suppresses the unholy forces and powers in all the worlds. And this is our job. There's nothing to be ashamed about. This is how God made us. This is what He wants us to do. And we need to come to terms with this idea. Tomorrow we will continue on this topic and talk more about the value of the internal struggle that we all have.